Welcome, everyone. We appreciate your patience and glad that you're here. The theme of our discussion today is good health is a choice. Good health is a choice. You might think that that's kind of an obvious statement, but no, it isn't. It's no longer obvious anymore because statistically, health is getting poorer and poorer. Heart disease is on the rise. Cancer is on the rise. Now, COVID is considered the third leading cause of death in this country, and around the world, all-cause mortality is on the way up. But now, we strongly believe that
2023.
Choose good health.
Taking care of it.
It's a decision now. So my name is Jonathan Jones. It's my pleasure and privilege to be your host and moderator for this afternoon or this evening, depending on where you are. Today is May the 28th, 2003, and it's about 15 minutes after 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can do the adjustments according to where you are in your part of the country or wherever you are in the world. I think it's going to be interesting because we believe that CBD is an incredibly important part of having good health. We've discussed extensively the role of micronutrients in our health because of its ability to ameliorate oxidative stress and free radical damage, and to even help the body to repair itself in many respects. But what about CBD? What role is that going to play? We have one testimonial that we have that we'd like to share, and then we want to introduce to our discussion Dr. Kedar Prasad and hear his comments on why it is that CBD is such an important factor. And then by the end of our discussion, we've got a special announcement with regard to CBD. So this is going to be an opportunity to really just dive right in, because Engage Global has stepped up to the plate and is going to make it possible for us to really be able to dive into the world of CBD even better. But let's talk about how and why it is. Before Jeff shares this first testimonial with us, please be advised that the FDA has not evaluated any of the comments that we're making. Engage Global and none of us, Dr. Prasad, myself, or the co-host, we're not making any claims that Engage Global products will cure, heal, or treat any disease state. Only the United States government can declare a supplement to be a treatment or cure for a disease. So we're not going down that path. We are claiming, though, that you feel better and the body can be assisted to do what it is has been designed to do. Testimonials are purely anecdotal. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. So, Jeff, would you please share with us one of those testimonials that really kind of amplifies some of the benefits of CBD?
Absolutely. Here is Freddie.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Yes, I have. I've been. Can you hear me good? Because I'm having trouble again with my internet out here.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. For years, I've suffered with anxiety and disorder, anxiety and depression disorder. I extended from my childhood, it seems, and got worse. But at some point in 1992, it got so bad that I was diagnosed, went to the doctor and was diagnosed with major depression at that time, because I was also suicidal. And of course, I've been on many medications for that. And I'd get a little better and then I get worse, get better and get worse. But of course, life happened. I think one of the things that really affected me, I lost a baby girl to cancer. And so I went through the radiation and chemotherapy and all of that with her. And then just things in life. So it just got progressively worse. And I had to be hospitalized several times because of it, because I was suicidal. And eventually, of course, I was taking therapy, but I got into an intensive therapy program. And with that one, I learned to manage my anxiety and depression, but they also changed my diagnosis. to a bipolar 2. The difference between bipolar 1 and bipolar 2 is that with bipolar 1, people have manics. They're up, they'll go low and then they'll go real high and real high. In my instance, I have bipolar 2. I go high seldom and I don't go real high, but I stay low. I go low and I will stay low. I have been in a low for as long as a year. That means I did not leave my house, did not leave my room for a year, no more than to, go to the kitchen and eat and go to the bathroom. So I'm saying all that to say that it was really bad. In September of 2022, my anxiety level was bad. Depression was bad. I had gone into a low. And then I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. Well, as you all know, or some of you may not know, that I was introduced to Dr. Prasad's products. And I started using the EMF, the methylated formula, Brain Boost, and probiotic. And they helped tremendously with my heart issue. They also calmed my anxiety quite a bit. But then I knew from reading and also from the way that I was feeling that I had to be on the CBD. So I ordered the CBD and started using it. I feel a calmness now in my life that I haven't felt in years. I was the kind of person that I thought I was hot-tempered because I could go off like that about something. Well, it turns out that it was anxiety, high anxiety levels. I didn't know how to manage my feelings. And I've changed from that since I've been using the products and introduced the CBD. I'm much calmer. I have had things to happen since I've been using the products that would have sent me into a rage or something. I don't know, whatever that is. Any of you out there that suffer from anxiety, you know what I'm talking about. This is no joke. It completely changes your life. Matter of fact, I can look at people and tell a lot of times those who suffer from anxiety and those who think they suffer from anxiety. It's a completely different thing. But taking the CBD has really made a change in my life. I want to thank Dr. Prasad for his formulas. They are amazing. I have been on, you name the medication, I've probably been on it. And I'm not on any medications now other than I'm not on any medications. Really, I'm not on any medications. I take Dr. Prasad's products and I take my CBD. And I just took a CBD because I was trying to prepare for this, to give this testimonial, right? And I start to shake. I have tremors. It was so bad at one time that the food would just jump and I couldn't hardly hold my plate because it would jump. But I felt it. I knew it was going to happen but guess what? I told my husband, so here it is. I just swallowed the pill just before I turned this camera on. It is an amazing product. If you know of anybody that have anxiety, I'm not talking about just nervousness. I'm talking about something that takes over your life. And it has taken over my life for, I would imagine 50 years, really, because there were times that I didn't know what it was. But I feel a calmness now. The only one thing left, and it's happening, I do go on those lows and I suffer from agoraphobia, which is sometimes connected with that, which means that I won't leave my house. So I haven't left my house for months, right? But I'm getting there. Well, I take that back. I did go maybe 2 times out. And the one time I went out, I had a car accident. Man, I went out that day and I tore up 2 cars. 3 cars, hit 3 cars. I didn't tell my, I hit 3 cars in one day. And I was like, where is my CBD, right? and it it helped calm me down. I didn't have a panic attack, and I didn't come home and have to get in the bed and stay in the bed, cover my head up for days, people, for days. I haven't done that. I haven't done that. I sleep like normal people. I can't even tell you how that is. Like, it's like so wonderful. I take my green formula at night just before I lay on the bed, the original, before I lay my head down. I sleep nights. I usually didn't sleep nights. I'd sleep during the day, but it wasn't a restful sleep, but I didn't sleep nights. The thoughts in my head were just constant. I always tell people it's like somebody take a snow globe, shake it up, and that's the way it's in there. It never settles, but it's settled since I've been taking the CBD.
Back to you, Jonathan.
That's
Amazing. Amazing. And I'll queue up a couple others.
That is absolutely phenomenal. Just to hear the transformation that she went through in her life helps just to spotlight, just to just highlight, just give us a little bit of a glimpse as to the power of what CBD can do in an individual's life. But before I introduce Dr. Prasad, I just want to show you something real quick. I just did a real quick search on PubMed just to see if there was any connection to, say, something like SARS-CoV-2. Is there any correlation? Have there been any clinical studies on the correlation between CBD and SARS-CoV-2? And we'd already done this information once before, but it turns out there's a number of different articles that have indicated that there could be a connection between what cannabidiol does with spike protein. My favorite one is this one right here, the third one down. It says cannabidiol inhibits SARS-CoV-2 spike protein-induced cytotoxicity and inflammation. So I thought that was really, really nice, and several others. And then to just kind of highlight what Freddie was talking about, if we change this search to CBD and anxiety, once again, many, many articles come up that amplifies the connection, the correlation between, CBD and anxiety in some respect. And Elfrida, you have a comment that you'd like to share, maybe a personal story with regard to CBD?
Yeah, just what happened today. On Saturday, I did a self-test and I tested positive for COVID. And, all day Friday, since maybe Thursday, I haven't been able to swallow because my throat was swollen. And so today, I think I took doubled up on everything, but I was like, okay, what do I got in because I'm not at home, what do I got in my stuff that it helps with inflammation and pain? And I remembered about the CBD, and today, I've been driving since about 9 o'clock, but like after I took 2 pills this morning, and then as I was driving, I started to feel maybe about 75% better than I had yesterday. And I could swallow again, which even this morning when I woke up, it hurt to swallow. And so I think it was CBD that helped with that very quickly. So I was just amazed. I feel about 80% back to normal.
Excellent.
And, so I definitely would recommend it. But I just took the collagen, doubled up on the EMF, brain boost, the eye boost. Then I added the CBD because I was like, I'm gonna throw everything at it.
You threw the kitchen sink at it.
Yeah, because I had to drive for like 8 hours. I'm like, oh boy. And I didn't even get sleepy driving at all. So
That's
And
beautiful.
then this afternoon I had an appetite again. I haven't been able to even drink water without being in severe pain.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Well, thank you for interjecting that firsthand, real-time dynamic story that's taking place even as we speak. So thank you very much for sharing it. Be careful while you're out there on the road.
I will.
So now let's go ahead and introduce to our discussion Dr. Prasad, really Professor Prasad. And as you can see on the screen here, these are just some of Dr. Prasad's accolades, because his resume is extensive. He was the professor at the University of Colorado School of Medicine for 30 years, director of vitamin and cancer research, former president, International Society of Cancer and Nutrition. Dr. Prasad was also a member of the British Society of Medicine. And one of the hot spots here, in my opinion, is he was invited to be a member of the Nobel Peace Prize nominating committee in the candidates of medicine. So they don't just give that invitation to just anybody. The world's first radiation biology PhD, and his products have been awarded 7 U.S. patents on micronutrients. He discovered the anti-cancer potency of vitamin E succinate. And he also discovered that butyric acid, the small fatty acid formed by the fermentation of fibers in the gut, is an anti-cancer agent. So if you want someone formulating your products, it's not going to be some college student. It's going to be someone who has a resume like this. And he's the product formulator for Engage Global. So everything that we're talking about, everything that we are connected with, this is the gentleman that's done the research behind it and put the special formulation together. Dr. Prasad is the author or co-author of some 32 books and currently working on his 33rd. He's been published more than 250 times in peer review articles. And this is just a quick snapshot of some of the books that Dr. Prasad has authored or co-authored. And the one that we really like to encourage you to make sure that you run out and get before you forget is the one here on dementia and memory loss. This book, Dementia, Memory Loss, How to Prevent and Improve Treatment, is an educational book. Easy to follow. It has easy to follow guidelines on how to avoid the risk of memory loss. This book also provides recent scientific information on how to reduce the risk of memory loss and how to improve current drug treatment with the help of micronutrients. So you can just take a quick screenshot of this, and that QR code will take you directly to it on Amazon. And I suggest that while you're there, you grab this other one here on cancer and any others of Dr. Prasad's books while they are still available on Amazon. So it's my pleasure, my privilege to introduce to our discussion today, and we're going to hear his comments on CBD, why it's important, what it does, what happened to Freddie, and if those articles in PubMed have any relevance to us at all. So Dr. Prasad, thank you, sir, so much for joining us once again on a Sunday afternoon. We appreciate your presence.
Thank you, Jonathan, and I always enjoy talking to you and to our Engage family members who are attending today. Excuse me.
We wind up having a bunch of guests that come on, and they come on because they want to know. They want answers. What really can happen with micronutrients? But tell us, Dr. Prasad, I mean, as powerful as micronutrients have proven to be when it comes to oxidative stress and free radical damage, tell us why CBD is such an important component. Why was it that Freddie, who was suffering with serious anxiety issues, agoraphobia, and all kinds of others, why was it that CBD could make such a big difference in her life?
Yeah, first you have to know that people have ignored that our body has a 2 defense system against any kind of a stress, oxidative stress, inflammatory stress, or other kind of biological stress. One is, of course, antioxidant system that we have studied so far more. But there is another defense system that was discovered much, much later. Antioxidant system was discovered some 4 billion years ago in a small microorganism. But the endocannabinoid system, that was another only detected in vertebrate. So it was not very well defined for a long, long time.
An endocannabinoid system.
Defense system. This is a very strong defense system. And so we have been able to do very well by stimulating our antioxidant defense system, which consists of antioxidant compounds and antioxidant enzymes. And our micronutrient that we have, EMF or methylated microdaily, they can do the job. But the question is, how do you also at the same time stimulate the endocannabinoid system? And endocannabinoid system has a independent pathway, has a receptor, endocannabinoid receptor R1, endocannabinoid receptor R2. And so the question is, how do you do it? So it was found that that the CBD is the only non-toxic, FDA-approved, who can stimulate the endocannabinoid system.
Okay.
Yeah, which can, that's the only, there are some other synthetic one, but physiologically safe one, FDA approved for the, as you know, for the people who suffer, the children who suffers dizziness. And so
seizures and epilepsy, stuff like that.
Yeah, seizure is the one, and it is non-toxic. People have taken up to 1,000 milligrams a day for several years, no toxicity. So, but only one toxicity would be that if you take that kind of high dose, and if you are on medication, it is possible that it can inhibit the liver enzyme, which destroy this excess drug. So if you inhibit that enzyme, the drugs might accumulate in your blood higher level and can cause some toxicity. So,
okay.
But that's very high dose. That's very high.
That's a very high dose, like around 1,000 milligrams, which would be
right.
like if I have the CBD bottle, that would be like me consuming 3/4 of the entire bottle all at once.
That's right. That's right. But
okay.
This is very interesting. And when endocannabinoid system get stimulated through its receptors, it also act directly on a receptor. For example, it can act as an inhibitor of serotonin uptake. And serotonin is a neurotransmitter produced in your brain. And if they produce nicely, high level, then you are calm and quiet. And and as a matter of fact, right now, one of the anxiety medication, FDA-approved medication, is the inhibitor of serotonin reuptake.
Oh,
and
wow.
CBD does the exactly same thing without any toxicity.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it is very nice. So that's one thing. And also, serotonin, the CBD through its receptor also stimulates, not that it prevents the degradation, but also stimulate the production of serotonin. And therefore, you feel very calm and quiet. In addition to that, the CBD also through its receptor stimulates the dopamine receptor, so increases the dopamine. And if your dopamine is level high, you feel very happy. And so not only it does calm you down and make you also relax and happy. And third thing that it does, and micronutrient cannot do that we provide them. You can do a little bit through other mechanism, but it is not do. Another thing that micronutrient that we have can do something is prevents the release of glutamate. And if you have excessive release of glutamate, it can cause hyperactivity, like you see in ADHD or in autism, so CBD does it. It also prevents the release of glutamate. But suppose there's already excessive amount of release glutamate, that is very toxic to nerve cell. Micronutrient can prevent the toxicity of glutamate on the nerve cell.
Wow.
So you see how a combination works, in many ways it works together. And so
CBD, the combination of the two then.
EMF, yeah, right. And not only that, so it is unique that only CBD can do that, and micronutrient is not sufficient to do all the function in terms of anxiety and depression. That nowadays many young people are having anxiety and depression, and they always blame the COVID, but I don't think so. I think it is also that environment, exposure to EMF, who knows? There's
Yeah,
so much toxic environment and a home environment as well, parental environment, social environment. It is a mixture that which you don't have any control of.
that's right.
But what you have control of is that take a proper micronutrient if you have anxiety and depression and with CBD. But suppose somebody is, go ahead.
So CBD is safe for children then?
Yeah, CBD, if children have anxiety and depression and doctor have said it, and you can talk to the pediatrics, they will not have any objection because if he's aware of the science that it has been used in children for seizure. And if somebody like a ADHD or, for example, autism is a very classical example that not only even micronutrient alone, as you know, has been very useful, but micronutrient in combination with CBD would be fantastic value, both in children and adults who suffer from autism or ADHD, because both symptoms are very similar, causes are very similar.
Yeah, because you hear a lot about things like Ritalin being used. That's been one of the most common ones used for kids with ADD or ADHD.
Yeah, Ritalin, these are toxic.
Very toxic.
I don't say that you don't take it, but if you have acute case, you take it and combine this one, then doctor may try to reduce the drug to a small minimum level or not at all.
Right. So then what you're describing then, how would you say then what you just said affected Freddie and the story that she told at the very beginning is pretty much what you just spoke about then, the serotonin and dopamine.
Yeah. And also, sometimes what's happened that they also, there is another pathway which makes you little anxiety and then CBD prevents is norepinephrine GABA amino acid and GABA butyric amino acid. And so GABA aminobutyric acid, GABA, which is a neurotransmitter. And if you have excessive amount of release, you get a lot of hyperactivity, you get agitated and things like that. So again, CBD calms it down.
Wow. Okay, well, that makes perfect sense. So let me ask you this then. Some people are always wondering then, because they hear about CBD and they hear the word cannabis. Now, are you encouraging marijuana here, or tell us the difference between CBD and marijuana?
Yeah, CBD, for example, marijuana has a THC, who has a effect that you think you feel euphoric, but it has a lot of side effects.
Okay, so THC is the part that makes you high.
High, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But it is addictive.
And addictive.
Yeah. But CBD,
and that's in marijuana.
Marijuana, yeah. And if you take a pure THC, it will do the same thing as marijuana.
Right.
But CBD is non-addictive. It has no effects on they call antipsychotic drug. It has no effect on a addiction or any brain function except beneficial effect. There is no harmful effect of CBD. You don't get addicted. You can take a year, 2 years. If you feel good, don't take it. Next day you are okay.
Okay.
So with no addiction.
With no THC. No THC at all.
No safety issue, no addiction issue, no interaction with any medication until you get a very, very high dose.
Okay. So there you have it, folks. CBD is extracted from cannabis, but is not the same marijuana plant. It's from the hemp plant.
Yeah.
So it has no THC in it.
Yeah. The difference between those two plants is that marijuana plant that we have, it has a 20% habit THC. And hemp that we have isolated, the product, it has 0.3%. So it is ready to get rid of and no contamination. And our highly purified CBD without any, another trace of even THC. So that's why you have no addiction. If you have THC there, you get addicted to.
Okay. There we go. And the whole body has CBD receptors. So this whole
That's right.
endocannabinoid
You know, CBD
system
endocannabinoid
everywhere.
receptor is there. Yeah. It is our another defense system. Then people have, not physician or anybody else, not people have paid too much attention of endocannabinoid system, and because they always say, oh, it is marijuana. So, and this is amazing that CBD was discovered only in 1992.
That's
Can you
amazing.
believe that? Has been existence forever. You know, in all the Hindu, you know, all these saints and everything, they always claim to used to have marijuana, but as recreational marijuana. But you become addicted to, you take once, many people take once in a while, once a week, you know, that's okay. I'm not approving it, but I'm saying that people do use it, but they have to be aware of the fact that it is addictive things, and this can interfere with your brain function after a long-term consumption.
Right. Gotcha. So I don't have any anxiety issues. I don't have any depression issues. Can CBD benefit me and others who are listening right now? Why should they consider taking it?
Well, you know, you may or may not consider taking it because, again, it is endocannabinoid system, and you want to remain stimulated because it has many other functions that will complement your micro daily EMF. So, but if you are all the time happy and nice and don't feel anything, then you don't have to take it.
Right. Okay. Very good. There you have it.
Yeah.
I personally, just so everyone knows, I take it every night for sleep. And
I mean, that's what I do myself, but I mean, you know, I'm an old person, therefore 88 plus. But so I take it, you know, but I don't have any anxiety. I don't need to, but just for sleeping purpose, because as you know, many individuals, young and old, sometimes have difficulty.
Right. Exactly. That it does happen. There's no question about it. And the other reasons why I take it is because of those other studies about how it can inhibit the attachment of the SARS-CoV-2 to the ACE2 receptors. So I take it prophylactically also. Yeah,
I think, you know, this as I said, all these things work together, and it binds with that protein that we have, a spike protein they call it on COVID-19. And then they can enter into the cell because that is the protein that attaches to the cell membrane and then allow virus to enter into the cell.
That's a big deal, Dr. Prasad. That's a big deal. You got something that can bind to that spike protein. That means it's under control and it's out of me. So
not only that, but a micronutrient that we have. For example, glutathione and acetylcysteine. Those two have been tested individually. And both of them bind with, a spike protein. But one thing that the micronutrient does that CBD cannot do it, that the glutathione or micronutrient, not only glutathione and acetylcysteine, they can also prevent the development of a cytokine storm in case you are in a stage. So in a prevention point of view, both are very important because you know, sometimes one agent may not be bind with all viruses that are hanging around in your body. And so it is, if you have a combination that they work by different sites, they attach to different sites. The CBD will attach to different site of the protein, you know, a spike.
Right.
And a vitamin, the glutathione and N-acetylcysteine will attach to different sites.
Right.
So this is very important to remember. Different, you know, this is a big protein and they're attached different times. But in any case, no matter how it attaches, where it attaches, it becomes inactive.
Yep. Very good. Perfect. Love it. Well, we have one more story we'd like to share.
Sure.
And this was one of those ones that she related this to you before, but there's a lot in our audience right now that's never heard this story at all. This is Sheron Witherspoon. So we think that it well illustrates some of the benefits of CBD. So Jeff's going to go ahead and take over and share that other story with us now.
I wanted to say that, you know, a lot of times people feel like, you know, young people don't go through a lot, but I did. in my early 20s, I used to have severe pain, and I almost lost one of my two children. Or they wanted to deliver her like 5 months early because I was in so much pain, but didn't know why I was in a lot of pain. And I was diagnosed with severe endometriosis. I had chronic pain day in, day out, and not natural bleeding that women go through. And I was also diagnosed with osteoarthritis. I had it really bad in my neck and my spine, and it crippled me. I was feeling like I've been electrocuted. Shocks just would go down my neck and back, and I couldn't move. And it would come out of nowhere at any given time, no matter where I was at. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I had those, oh my God, from head to toe, I was in pain. Rheumatoid arthritis. And I developed PTSD when I used to live in Houston, Texas. I was coming home one day from work, and like they got kidnapped, human trafficking. And from there, I developed what Freddie mentioned, agoraphobia, a fear or a form of anxiety. I didn't want to leave my home because I was afraid of that happening again. And I was placed on several different medications for anxiety, depression, insomnia, because I couldn't sleep. Like Freddie, just thoughts just running through my mind, fear, worries, day in and day out. And I just needed help. And I was telling my whole family, I have a large family, seven sisters and 5 brothers. And my brother Alex and the rest of my family was encouraging me to continue to pray and try to look for things, and they would be looking for things. And I never forgot the scripture that I read. In fact, I read it this morning, 1 John 5:14-15. It tells us, if you ask Almighty God, whatever you ask him, he hears you. And if your prayers are in harmony with his will, he will answer you. And so I continued to pray and ask for help, because I was in the bed all the time, constantly in a lot of pain and hurting. And I just didn't have a quality of life. And I was young, and in my 20s on up until now, I had continued to hurt. And so finally, when my brother discovered Dr. Prasad's products, he told me about it. I got on them. And I tell you, they work. When I got on the CBD, because I read what it's for anxiety, it's for insomnia, pain, depression. And those are things that I had, and I needed that. And so when I got on them, that's what I felt gave me my life back, because even today, I haven't even taken none of my products, including my CBD. And wow. Normally when it rains, because it's been raining all here all day today, either the day before, I start hurting so bad, head to toe, but no pain. And it's raining outside, no pain. Oh my God, I just was so happy that wow. I'm not hurting head to toe. And I tell anybody, these products are the real deal. They really work. And Dr. Prasad, I just wanted to tell you, that's a words to a song that say, if you say my eyes are beautiful, it's because I'm looking at you. The world is looking at you, Dr. Prasad, and you are beautiful to us. We thank you for all the products, because they really, really help. I went through so much in my life, losing a lot of family members. I lost my husband, my parents, and 3 of my siblings, several of them due to cancer. And that took me for a loop. And I'll tell you one thing, being on the CBD and increasing it and all, it helped me, because I've been driving since I was 15 years old. And I was not, the last 8-9 years, I haven't been able to go outside and get in my car and drive my own car. And just last week, I went to get in my car. My brother came and gave me a jump, because I don't go many places. And he gave me a jump. He said, come on, let's go around the block. And normally if I drive out of, the neighborhood I live in, that's when my anxiety come on. And it's so bad. It makes like I'm about to have a heart attack, and I go to shaking and sweating and going on. But I noticed that that didn't happen. I drove out of my neighborhood, drove several blocks down the street, and I just tears just swelled up in my eyes because I realized that this CBD is really working for me, and I might get my life back and be able to drive and be independent. You don't know how it feels to be independent and be able to get in your car and go wherever you want to go and not have, that hindrance, and to be able to get out your bed and want to be around people. I didn't want to be around people. I just wanted to stay in my house, perfectly happy staying in my house. But if I had to go anywhere, I had anxiety attack because of having to go outside of my house. But I noticed it's getting so much better, and I'm starting to have better quality of life. So I just want to thank you, Dr. Prasad, and I love you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Jonathan, back over to you. And boy, that was just fun.
That's an
watching.
amazing story. Those two stories.
We're so grateful, Dr.
I just can't believe it, that it is producing such a remarkable effect in their lives.
You gave her life back, Dr. Prasad. You didn't just, it's not just quality of life. You gave her life back.
I know. I mean, just it is so, but so I'm so happy. I mean, you can't tell you how much happy I am, but, it also surprises that the product that we develop after careful scientific evaluation, you develop it, but you don't know the results.
Yeah.
We knew Micro Daily Original was good, and but all this CBD and everything, we have, there's extensive literature like you were showing it, and after analyzing it, he said, yeah, it is a good thing to combine. See, that's the whole thing. It is the combination which is unique.
Right.
Not one drug, like, when doctor give you a prescription, they give you one drug. No, because you have disease is multifactorial. And therefore, if you do one approach and forget about for example, you forget about the gut, it may not be as bad. I hope she's taking also probiotics.
Oh, yes.
And so these are, again, combination factor that makes the kind of effect. But suppose if you're just taking a micro-daily EMF alone,
right,
it will have some value. It will some, but not this kind of dramatic one.
That's right. That's dramatic.
If you take care of intestinal dysbiosis, you have taken care of, like, anxiety and depression by CBD, you can't lose.
That's right. That's right. No question about it. And that's why I'm personally convinced that it is the way to go, and that everyone would benefit from making sure that they have all of these amazing products as part of their arsenal.
Yeah, so you can grow older with very good quality life. That's right. The main goal is grow older with good quality of life for a long time.
That's right, absolutely. So what we'll do is, for anybody who's here wondering how they can get a hold of the CBD, we encourage you to get back with the person who invited you. And they will help you. They'll help you set up your own wholesale account for the products. And we encourage you right now to take advantage of a special offer that Engage Global is going to be. We'll tell you about that in just a minute. But here's what you want to do is, this is the Dr. Prasad Choice Bundle. We'll show you here on the screen. And you can, if you already have your own subscription, you can easily add the CBD boost to your order. And I think it's only about $75, somewhere in that area, if you order it, if you purchase it as a preferred customer or as an affiliate. So you can add that to the bundle. It does not contraindicate with any known medications. It does not contraindicate with any of these. In fact, it complements all of Dr. Prasad's formulas. Every single thing that he has, it complements that. So just get back with the person who invited you here, and they will help you to get your order in. So we have time for a couple of questions right now. So if you have a question that's of something that was not clear with regard to CBD or something else with Micro Daily,
yes,
now you can ask those questions. Now we got just a couple of minutes here. We could take one or two questions from anyone. So now is your chance. If you're itching to
Jonathan, I just wanted to mention that we've got this on buy two, get one free special, and everybody can get that as well. So,
yeah, absolutely. We need to show that on the screen. So keep that in mind, folks. You can't get this. This is the best deal I've ever seen on the CBD boost. So I'm personally going to be buying a whole bunch of these right
Look
now.
at the date. That date's going to go for another 1,000 years.
Yeah, all the way to the year 3023.
we caught that, but that's just how excited we are to have this available to us. And you know what? Just now till Wednesday night at midnight, and it'll forever go back to the full price. So
yep. So take advantage of it, folks. We got one question from the Gaddy family. So go ahead, please, Gaddy family.
Okay. Yes, Dr. Prasad. Hi, Jonathan. Thank you, Dr. Prasad. I have a question on the CBD. I have someone that wants to try it, but they're tested on their job. So how will that show up in their blood work? Because if they find any CBD or anything like that, then their job is gone.
Yeah, that's a person that can't, that probably cannot do it. They'd have to go to their doctor to get a prescription for it and work that out with their with the job. That's not what Dr. Prasad can control.
Yeah, because what happens that, sometimes people misunderstand it, or the guy who's testing it misunderstand it, that CBD is also just like a THC. Okay. And so anything comes which is outside of this is like a THC, they think it is THC. So that might create a problem for him. And so until like you said, it is best to get a recommendation from doctor, or I don't know if anybody has done a testing, because they are not concerned just on THC. They are concerned of any kind of drug.
Any kind of CBD, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that can create a problem, because they are not interested in distinction between CBD and THC. Any kind of drug which is not prescribed,
yeah,
we consider not illegal or whatever, even though
it's legal,
FDA approved drug.
Right.
But it is not for everybody, they have not tested to everybody. So in a job situation, I'm afraid it has to be recommended by doctor like Jonathan, you suggested it. Otherwise, you don't want to take any risk.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Prasad, Jonathan.
Sure.
Thank you for your question there, Gaddy. Go ahead, Stephanie.
I had a question. I've used other types of CBD, and I just wondered, because usually when you would do CBD, it's usually it would be like a brown color, or I've never seen one which it may be the way it's made up, where it's like where it's a white powder formula, and was just wondering, is that the different formula that it's made of? Because I've tried other types of CBD, but I've never experienced one in the form that yours was made out of, Dr. Prasad. So I just was wondering about that.
Yeah, in our product, CBD is highly purified, but sometimes if you buy in a commercial market, sometimes they will have a CBD plus other things, like, and so it is not just the CBD purified. And so that can give us some coloring. And therefore, I think, they may not be highly purified, because there are some ingredient in the plant that could make a color if you are isolating and it is not purified. But highly purified CBD, no matter where it comes from, is white powder.
And the liquid form that you're talking about, Stephanie, is a tincture. So that liquid form, that's something that they take sublingually. So those, I have personally used those a lot. And this one I found to be the most potent and the most effective, to be quite honest with you. So I've tried them all. Dr. Prasad's formula is one of the best.
If I could, Jonathan, I'm just going to pop in here as well. I also have represented different CBDs This is not a full spectrum. It's not a broad spectrum. It's not an oil suspension. So what Dr. Prasad just referenced, this is a pure crystalline isolate. And in fact, it looks like white powder, but if you look at it under a microscope, it is little crystals. And that's why we're getting such efficacy with it, because it doesn't have the rest of the garbage in there. And that's why it works so well with our products. In fact, we use it as part of our first aid kits. We have a little bottle in our first aid kit right along with some packs of hydro. Because if you can tear off that stick of hydro and get it into somebody's mouth and then follow that up with a CBD or 2 or 3 underneath their mouth. We've had individuals on their way to the emergency room because of a traumatic injury. And it's lowered their pain threshold. They were able to communicate effectively with the paramedic, and it just, for us, it's a go-to. It's part of our first aid when it comes to pain.
Actually, I reviewed one paper where they were comparing the broader spectrum CBD versus purified CBD, and in their own result. They found that 5 milligram of purified CBD have the same effect as 100 milligram of broader spectrum. That means the rest of them were junk. 95 milligram was junk. And so, but for a commercial point of view, promotion point of view, broader spectrum, it has everything. That doesn't mean it is good, but people think in the mind, the broader spectrum, it has everything, so it will be more useful than just purified CBD.
So really, this is more like a CBD concentrate. So
concentrate, yeah.
So when Jeff called it an isolate, everyone needs to understand that this is the most valuable part of the CBD. So that's what you're getting. You're not getting all the other garbage that goes along with it. You're getting the most beneficial part of it. So
exactly.
And we've had individuals that have also needed to be tested, and because this is so pure and it doesn't have that broad spectrum, we haven't had anybody pop positive on this. But just back to your, be assured, because we don't know who is running the test, but this is a pure CBD isolate. You're not going to detect any THC. You're not going to detect any of the other cannabis.
Yeah, in the CBD, CBD will come on, and I don't know the test, but even though there is no THC, but CBD look like a different drug than anything else, and so it will come out some kind of a spot, and then you don't want to jeopardize your dog, because the guy he will not understand what CBD is. He's the guy who is doing the testing.
Yeah.
So the best would be that go to the doctor and said, "This is what I want to take it. Can you give me a prescription?"
Very good. Excellent. We have we've got 2 more here that we can maybe try to squeeze in, Dr. Prasad. Go ahead, Alfredo.
I will do 2 more questions.
These are the last 2, Alfredo and Karen.
My brother had COVID, and he also had the shot, and he was down. He was bedridden for over 9 days. With COVID, and now I think he's a long hauler. So what would this CBD help him get over that? Or
I think the whole mixture you have to combine with the even the late effect of COVID-19. You have to combine them with micro daily EMF and probiotics. Because CBD alone is not sufficient, but it is. If you can combine, sure, it will help. It will help because
he is taking the micro daily, all the time. But he's having the long hauler.
But probiotics. Is he taking probiotics?
No, I'll have to get him on that.
Yeah, probiotics and CBD, those 3 combination would be very good one.
Okay.
That would be very good for the central nervous system also then.
Yeah. That's right.
Because that's where the symptoms of long hauling often come up.
Also,
so
also I will recommend the brain boost.
And the brain boost. Yep.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, Karen, you got the last word on this one, Karen. Thank you, Alfreda.
Oh, okay. Hi, how are you, Jonathan, Dr. Prasad? Real quick, what would be the best way to help folks that have been using marijuana for quite a while and more than likely are addicted to it? Is there a best combination with the CBD?
I think I think the CBD would be also good, but I wrote a paper on opiate addiction, and when you have a withdrawal, they generate a lot of free radicals, and we propose in this idea that nobody has done a human experiment as yet, but yes, through gradual withdrawal, if you take a micronutrient and CBD with what you call brain boost and probiotics, this will be very valuable for him while he's withdrawing from THC. Yes.
Okay, so it's best to take the probiotics, the CBD, and the micro daily. So
and the brain boost.
And the brain boost.
Yeah, that's it.
What would be the best dosages on that to minimize?
What it is already written twice, like you just regular preventive dose that we have.
Oh, okay.
In case of brain boost, you have 1 capsule morning, 1 in the evening, and EMF is 3 capsule morning, 3 in the evening, and you can have same way since she has a key problem, 1 capsule of CBD in the morning and 1 in the evening before going to bed.
And then that should really help to impact the withdrawal.
Yeah, let us know 90 days. We will know how he's feeling, and gradual withdrawal. You can't suddenly stop it.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And also, Karen, add to that, Dr. Prasad has made it clear at the very beginning of our discussion that there's no toxic level of the CBD. So if he needs to go more, if he's having pain or anxiety or any other symptoms, he can go ahead and titrate the CBD up as he's going down on the marijuana. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Sounds good. So then going up should be what? An extra dose?
An extra capsule or 2 per dose. You cannot overdose on. Half that bottle is considered FDA approved.
I will say just for the time being, that since he's getting withdrawal, I think too much CBD will not be a good idea. In the beginning, you try 1 capsule in the morning, 1 in the evening. And if it doesn't work at all, then you try with 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening. That's all I will recommend.
Oh, okay. All right. Good to know. Thank you so much. All right, then.
Very good. Okay. So there we have it, folks. And listen, for anyone who's interested in an opportunity meeting, we're going to be talking about that in just a few minutes. But Dr. Prasad, we can't thank you enough for what you bring to these discussions. There are so many folks here that are just your comments, your suggestions, your science, your research has changed lives. And we can't thank you enough. So if anybody wants to unmute now, you can go ahead and express yourselves to Dr. Prasad. Thank you very much. We're looking forward to being back with you again next week. We're going to be talking about side effects. We're going to be talking about Herxheimer effect, detox reactions. We're going to be squeezing out of Dr. Prasad all kinds of information. But remember, folks, now between now and the 31st, you can buy 2 CBD and get 1 free. That brings the entire price down by at least 1/3 on each bottle of CBD. Now's the time to stock up on it. So jump on the bandwagon with the rest of us. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Dr. Prasad. Amazing.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for all that both of you do. Thank you. everyone.
Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Have a nice holiday.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Dr. Prasad. All these folks. Oh, everybody's still. Oh, unmuting was taken away. That's what happened. Ah, you can unmute now.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you,
Thank you, Jonathan, and thank you, Jeff, too.
Absolutely. Thank you all for your support, and thank you for your comments and all those good questions.
Yeah, we needed to get Dolores's daughter up here. She's got an excellent testimony. I just didn't have it loaded up and ready to go tonight, but
we'll get that one. Her story is phenomenal.
It's my Auntie Bob, okay? Thank you so much. It's my Auntie Bob.
Yes, Barbara Atkins' story is amazing. We'll start the opportunity meeting in just a couple of minutes. For anyone interested in the opportunity.
I would love it. I'll try.
Hi, I wanted to ask you for information, who do I contact?
The person who invited you.
Okay,
And,
all right, thanks.
they can answer your questions for you. And if you
Okay,
have questions, if you're not able to reach them or something, and Jeff or anyone can guide you. I'll put an email address.
That's me, Jonathan.
Oh, Barb. Okay, yeah, Elizabeth. Elizabeth can take care of you.
okay. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves started here in just a couple of seconds, folks. All right, we're going to be talking about engage the opportunity right now. And a lot of folks have been wondering, is there an opportunity, is there a real opportunity associated with this company, Engage Global? We keep hearing about all this science. We keep hearing about the incredible benefits of the products itself, but is there a real opportunity? And that's a valid question. It's a valid question to ask. And we could snap our fingers and just say yes, but that's not really dignifying you and giving you a real comprehensive response to the question. So we'll try to give you a little bit more information to go by. If you're wondering exactly who I am and why it is that I can, be even attempting to give you an answer to this question in this discussion, my background is not anything amazing. My background is computer electronics and engineering, and I've been trained in public speaking for decades, more than 35 years. But my wife and I focused in on nutrition, biokinesiology, and all the other ologies back in the 90s because we didn't want to get disease. We both had a parent that was suffering with diabetes. But because of that, my focus on health and nutrition was really centered around really trying to solve my wife's health problems. But it was in that whole quest, that's when I was exposed to glutathione, and I became one of the top earners for a Canadian company. So now for the second time, I've built up a six-figure income with two different companies. So I know a little something about network marketing, but at the exact same time, you have a right to ask yourself a question: is this Engage Global an opportunity, and is it an opportunity for me? So I'm just going to quickly just tell you 7 things that I think you need to be thinking about as far as what is an opportunity and what is not an opportunity. So the 7 things I believe that you need to be looking at are kind of identified right here. And I'm going to just drill down on each of them just briefly. And if you have questions at the end of our discussion, we'll take a few of those questions toward the end of our discussion. But if you're looking to create passive income, do you know what passive income is? Passive income is where you're making some amount of revenue, whether you're actively working or not. Passive income keeps coming in, whether you're actively engaged in the business or doing some work or not. Wages is when you have a job. Profits come as a result of creating passive income. If you can figure out the difference between the two, then you found yourself into the right realm of being successful. But if you're looking at a particular opportunity like with Engage Global, take a look at the market, that whatever it is that you're looking at, look at the market that you're diving into. And Engage Global is in the wellness industry. That's the space that we're occupying right now. Is there an opportunity there? Is it the right market? Well, right now it's 4.37 trillion US and 1.2 trillion in the United States. Well, globally is 4.37, 1.2 trillion in the United States. And that's dollars, not the yen, not the peso. That's United States dollars. That's a massive market that's being spent in wellness. That's the kind of revenue that's being generated in the wellness space. And if you look at the top two lines, personal care, beauty, healthy eating, nutrition, and weight loss, those top two is where the Engage Global market is primarily. That's the primary area. And that's a pretty big number. That's close to $1 trillion each in those two spaces. So the answer really is yes when it comes to is there a market? But is it trending upward or is it trending downward? Well, the people who study this kind of thing say that the trend is upward. They said that the projected annual growth rate in the wellness industry is 9.9% as the industry recovers from the COVID-19 pandemic. That's pretty major. So it's not going down. The chances of people spending less money in the wellness space going down is not happening. The people who study the trend say it's going to go up, because what's happened is I think most of you have come to the realization, if you have not been paying attention, the COVID pandemic exposed the fact that conventional medicine is a little bit limited when it comes to really truly being able to make a person feel really, really optimal. That's the reason why many people are looking for something else to add to the conventional world to make themselves feel themselves all over again. So that's why the wellness industry is getting a lot more attention these days. So opportunity, yes, is projected to go up. The trend is upward. What about the product? You have to say to yourself, if you're looking for an opportunity, the next question you have to say is, well, what product am I going to be selling? Because you could be in the right market. The trend could be up but if you're selling a particular product that no one wants, you're out of business. Take the music industry, for example. Music, huge market. Trend, definitely going upwards. But if you're selling 8-track tapes, you're out of business. There's 3 things that you have to have if your product has to fall into these 3 categories. It must have all 3. It absolutely must be unique. It must be consumable, and there has to be a demand for it. If you don't have those 3, you really need to look in a different company and a different industry, perhaps. So what about the products associated with Engage Global? Are they unique and consumable? Yes, 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 yes. Every one of them. Look at all the products there. They're unique and consumable. You just heard quite a bit about this CBD boost. Now, did anybody learn anything new about CBD boost today that you didn't know before? I think we all did. We all found out that this CBD boost really could have been labeled CBD isolate or CBD concentrate. We just learned something. So one capsule, even by Dr. Prasad's own statement, is really as powerful, more powerful than 100 milligrams of other CBDs out there, especially when you have something called full spectrum. You think full spectrum, oh, I'm really getting something now. I'm getting full spectrum CBD. No, you're getting garbage. You get 95 milligrams of nothing. But Dr. Prasad says you're getting 1,500 milligrams of CBD boost is really CBD isolate. You can see it right on the top of the bottle. Can you spot it there? It says pure CBD isolate. That means it's concentrated. What you have is unique and is consumable. Is there a demand for these products? You better believe it. The American Heart Association says that heart disease death rates spiked during COVID-19 pandemic, erasing years of progress. And let me tell you, it's gotten even worse, because even though the pandemic has been declared officially over and the emergency is officially over, the death rate from heart disease is just beginning. They're finding now myocarditis and pericarditis in 5-year-olds. Young adults are now having increased rates of heart disease. Now you may be saying to yourself, well, okay, well, so what? Well, what do these micronutrients have to do with that? Well, go back to my YouTube channel and you could just search heart. Look at some of the conferences on heart issues that we've done with Dr. Prasad, and you can see for yourself that there's a lot of focus, a lot of benefits that come from adding micronutrients to your diet, no matter what your age is. We had one person, we had multiple people, but one individual was told by her doctor, it looks like your heart is repairing itself. She had something called a mitral valve prolapse. That is usually repaired surgically. She doesn't have that problem anymore. Interesting. So as her cardiologist said, her heart healed itself. We're not saying that microdaily or anything else did that, but miraculously, her heart healed itself. Right now, the CDC data shows increases across the board. The most disturbing one is all-cause mortality is currently on the rise. Folks, listen, there's a huge demand for these supplements right now. Huge demand for these supplements. So market, trend, product, check, check, check. No question about it. If you need more information on that, just get back with the person who invited you here, and they can help you understand those 3 areas even better. But what about the company itself? The company is important because if you're jumping into a company that just barely started overnight, you could be investing a lot of time and come up with nothing. Well, guess what? Engage Global is a 10-year startup company. We're on the ground floor. There's less than 5,000 affiliates. In fact, right now, there's less than 2,000 affiliates with this company right now. So we're in the sub-basement right now. The company is well-funded, and they've been around for 10 years. This is the brain behind all the products right here. You got the brain along with the brawn. The combination of these two has made this company an opportunity whose time has come. What about the compensation plan? There's no company that has a predictable pay plan. It pays 3 different ways. It pays by team bonus, customer commissions, and a unique all of it bonus. The team bonus, well, you can decide what happened to our team bonus. Here, there we go. On this the team bonus, you can decide whether you want to make anywhere between $150,000 to $45,000 per month. And it doesn't take that much to do it. It only takes 3,000 points per month to make yourself $300. It only takes 100,000 points to do $10,000 per month in income. Just put together a team, and that's what you can do. The customer commissions, if that's all you want to focus on, we have some folks that just focus on building customers. They don't want to build a team. They just are focused on building customers and getting the commissions from that. Well, that's easy also. With just about 6 customers per month, you can build yourself a couple $100 per month, just 6 customers. Residual now, this is residual. And with 16 customers, you can put together $900 per month in residual income. But if you want a little bit more substantial, then just go to $1,800 a month. It just takes 32 customers per month, and you've got yourself $1,800 per month residual income. But what about this all of it bonus thing? How does that work? Very simple. You sell one of those bundles, and we showed you an image of that earlier with Dr. Prasad. Just sell one of those bundles to either a customer or to an affiliate, either way, and you get all of the upfront money. It goes to you. Confused? Okay, here it is. The all of it bundle. Let me just show it to you this way. You sell one of these bundles, you get the whole enchilada. There it is. You get the whole upfront money. The company feels so confident in the product because there's a 90% retention rate. They will pay you first, and then they'll wait for their money 2 months later. Still not clear? Well, let me put it a different way. You sell Dr. Prasad Choice Bundle, you make all the upfront money. Okay. I see I flipped the screen there to just illustrate that, putting it a different way. It's really that simple, because invariably, after these presentations, someone says, okay, so how does the all of it bonus work? There it is. You sell one, you get paid all the money. There's some fine print, but get back with the person who invited you to it, and they'll help you to understand what the fine print is and what the catch is. But here's the sweet part about it. While building up your $200 a month residual income, along the way with the all of it bonus, you put $1,100 in your pocket that paid for your gas and all of your effort, even your marketing efforts of building up your $200 a month residual income. If you were going after $900 per month income, you literally put about $3,000 in your pocket along the way while you're building up your $900 a month base income. Or if you were the one that was going for the $1,800 a month income, all of the bonuses, if you played your cards right, you put an extra $6,000 in your pocket along the way of building up that $1,800 a month residual income. You think that could pay for your gas and all your other expenses while you were building a business? I think so too. That's the way I use it. So it's bar none, it's the absolute best compensation plan out there. So market, trend, product, company, check, 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 check. All 5 of those, no question about it, engage passes the smell test on this. But what about leadership? Well, you tell me. When it comes to leadership, we're not letting you down. The leaders in this company right now have an offer of support all of the time. So this currently is the legacy team. It changes from time to time, but the legacy team is there. The backbone is the growth team. This is the hardest working support mechanism in this entire company right here. You're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. So that group is doing support, having meetings. The company offers training and support meetings. This is, we're behind you. We're behind you. You're having trouble explaining how glutathione works, how micronutrients work, how CBD works. No problem. Just bring them here on Sunday and we'll help. Your legacy team member upline, they've got meetings also. They'll explain it. You need some testimonials? Just get with your legacy team upline leaders and they'll share testimonials with you and do 3-way calls with you. So you've got plenty of support helping you. So check, 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 check. All 6 areas completely green light as far as Engage Global is concerned. But what about timing? Is the time right? If someone was presenting you with an opportunity to get into the .com craze, is it a good time for that? No, that ship has sailed. What about a good time to invest in Facebook? Some people say when the company is down on its belly, that's the time to invest. Well, if that's the kind of thing you're looking for, good time. What about Twitter? You decide. But with Engage Global, listen to what Warren Buffett says about opportunities and timing. He says a great investment opportunity occurs when a marvelous business encounters a one-time huge but solvable problem. Those 2 things align right now. You're at that intersection right now where you got a great company, a great business with phenomenal product, all converging on a huge solvable problem. So in my assessment of things, the timing could not be any better. The timing could not be any better. So get back with the person who invited you to this discussion, and they'll help you get yourself set up. Become an affiliate or preferred customer, the choice is yours. If you decide to become an affiliate, then just make sure that you get yourselves your credit cards together, or go to your savings account, and you'll need $5,000 to become an affiliate. Excuse me, that's a different company. With this company, you need 500. No, I'm sorry, that's yet a different company. With this company, to become an affiliate, it only costs you $50. I sometimes caught in the loop that could past. I always started my discussions with $5,000 because to me, a real opportunity, you need to be able to invest some money. But David Nemelka refuses to set the bar that high. And not sure I'm feeling that, but I'm excited for you because at this moment, it's only $50 to get started as an affiliate. That's it. That's your total investment. Then I suggest that you become a product of the product and at least try all the products. This is the Dr. Prasad's Choice Bundle. Add another $75 or so, $76 to this price, and you get yourself the CBDs. So now you've got everything. You can now become a product of the product. And there's a good reason that you might want to do this, because if you're going to be introducing this to someone else to join you on your team, my experience over the years, and again, I've done this twice, I've built a 6-figure income a couple of times. And I can tell you that the majority of people that I've introduced to any opportunity, they always say, well, how do you start? And if I tell them I started with the $200 or $100 or $30 bottle of Brain Boost, they're going to say, well, I want to try that first. Let me try the Brain Boost. So however you start, that's what I want to do. But when I tell them, are you kidding me? I tried everything. I went on subscription for the Dr. Prasad's Choice Bundle as soon as I had an opportunity to do that, because I wanted to become a product of the product. I wanted to see what those products did. So I decided I wanted to try it out for 90 days so I could tell my own story. They all do what you do. So those who you introduce this product and this opportunity to, they'll follow your lead. So if you want them to start out as slow as possible, then start that way. But if you want to start out aggressive and really get to know this product and this company, I'd put it on a credit card if I was you, and I'd go for the whole enchilada. But again, the decision is yours. But right now, you can take charge of your tomorrow today. The next 90 days, next 6 months is going to go by whether you join this opportunity or not, whether you take advantage of this or not. The only question is whether you're going to have that residual income down the road. And if you start today, then you can change what your tomorrow looks like. Okay? So we can take a couple questions right now. For those of you who have any questions at all about the opportunity, we could take 2 or 3 questions right now. Go ahead. All the questions were answered? Oh, wow. That's amazing. Okay, I guess not. Go ahead, Stephanie. I tried to cover it all. I tried to cover everything. I wanted to just make sure all the hands stayed down. Please go ahead with your question. I'm just kidding.
Mine is not, it's not really a question, because my question got answered earlier. I was just telling my daughter, I told her, I got my question answered. I was happy with that. But when you were talking about health and wellness, I tell you, this really is a good time. Now it is really, when we lived in California, you were seeing a lot of doctors leaving, or you would have to go to what they call, wasn't a doctor or nurse practitioner. And then we moved and we left and we came here to Washington. And in the beginning, you would get a doctor. But now it's happening the same thing here. You are starting to see doctors leave and other people. And I say that because I don't know if doctors are seeing what's going on in Western medicine. And I'm not saying Western medicine is not good, because I've had a lot of good things that I've had help me with it. But I'm finding that a lot of things you're having to jump to natural things. More natural things are going to be the stem. And with using these products, I've noticed, I just, from me and my family, taking them, the benefits that we have had. But that was something I noticed. We were just talking about that. And my daughter was telling me, Mom, my daughter doesn't even have a doctor. She's gone through 3 doctors since we've been here. And it just goes to show you where the healthcare line is going, what it's going through. So
absolutely, Stephanie. And as you were making those comments, I decided to ask artificial intelligence that very question. to see what the answer would be that came up. And the question I asked was, well, I think you can see it on the screen here. It's off on the right side of the screen. The question I said is, are doctors leaving the profession or something like that? The trend. There it is. Is there a trend of doctors leaving? And the artificial intelligence says, yes, there's a trend of doctors leaving medicine. According to a survey by the American Medical Association, 1 in 5 doctors plan to leave the current practice within 2 years. Some reasons for this trend include burnout, increased verbal abuse, bullying by patients, insufficient income, long hours and lack of family time, dealing with EHRs, I'm not sure what that is, too much bureaucracy, and lack of independence. Doctors are leaving, and it's getting harder and harder and harder to find a primary care physician. There have been documentaries on it. They are trying to figure that out. If you do not take charge of your health, prepare to be part of statistics. Take charge of your health. And folks are looking for ways to take charge. So it's a tremendous opportunity right now. So thank you very much, Stephanie, for bringing that point up. Thank you. Elizabeth, you're trying to comment on that one for us?
I just Googled EHR. It says electronic health record.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, they don't like the standard paper thing. I did with Dr. Nkuzi. We bought the house from Dr. Nkuzi, his house in Florida. So I'm in the office he used to occupy, and every time I come over here and visit him, he had boxes and boxes of records, because as a doctor, that's just the way he knew how to do it. Was old school, boxes and boxes and boxes of records. But there are now the younger generation, they want digital, they want electronic. So you're absolutely right on that. Thank you very much for looking that up, Elizabeth. And because if you don't go paperless these days, whew, prepare to be a dinosaur and to be eaten like a dinosaur. Go ahead, Joyce.
Yes, I don't really have a question, Jonathan, but I just want to know if you have a few minutes. I need to follow up with you with our Friday evening.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll do that here in just a couple of seconds.
Okay. Thank you.
So there you have it, folks. If you were looking for an opportunity, your timing couldn't be any better than right now. Your timing could not be any better right now. And in my group, I'm going to be teaching network marketing for the next, I said for this month, but it looks like I'm going to be shifting into next month, teaching network marketing also. So if you want to learn it, I'm going to be teaching you. I'll show you what to do and how to do it. I'm determined now to help as many as who want to get a $500 a month income, residual income. We'll get there. All right. So all you have to do is just sign yourself up, and I'll show you how to get at least $500 on a minimum. Okay, at least $500. We have some seniors in their 70s and approaching 80 that are making $2,000 and $3,000 supplements to their retirement income, their Social Security income. So don't tell me you got to be special to do it. Don't tell me you got to be special. Anybody can do it, and I'll show you what to do. All right, everybody, y'all have a good night. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next Sunday. No, Tuesday night we're on. You got someone who needs to hear about the product. I am going to be doing a product presentation Tuesday night. All right, and we're going to grind this month out all the way to the end. Remember the incentives that are out there. A lot of incentives. I'll send out a blast message to make sure you know about the incentives. Let's close the month out strong. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you,
Good
Jonathan.
night.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Good night, everyone.
Good night.